We've been selling direct to consumers online since 2005 and have learned quite a bit about shipping small and light products that we thought might be useful information to some of you. I'm going to go over some of what we've learned over the years, along with best practices for shipping these kinds of products sold online. This information can be applied to new or existing businesses, whether you are selling inventory products or making your products on demand. Our current business involves selling products primarily created and/or decorated using lasers on demand. Since these are mostly small and very light items, such as rubber stamps, this discussion will focus primarily on how to ship this type of product. Before I get into the more detailed shipping discussion, I wanted to go over the concept of free shipping. You will have to make a decision if you want to charge your customers for shipping or offer free shipping. This decision could be made on a product-by-product basis or for your business as a whole. Make no mistake though, no matter what you or especially your customers might think, there's no such thing as free shipping. You're going to pass this cost on to your customers somehow, either visibly in the form of a stated shipping charge or as part of a padded product price that takes the added shipping costs into account. Marketplaces generally push the free shipping model, so let's take a look at some of the pros and cons of this method.
Where we'll get a free room, free food, free swimming pool, free HBO, ooh, free Willy!
Free shipping perceptually looks a lot better to customers, allowing you to theoretically increase sales. Amazon had recently sent us a promotional email saying that sellers offering free shipping see a 9.2% increase in sales. Of course, I would take any statistic coming from one of these online marketplaces with a grain of salt. It's easier for customers to understand their total price if buying more than one product from you. In other words, the price they see per unit is the price they pay times the number of units they want. This way, they don't have to worry how much shipping costs will go up as they add additional units to their cart. There might be potential seller benefits from online marketplaces. This could include better ranking or visibility for listings offering free shipping. Having free shipping on your entire or the majority of your products might open up additional seller account benefits and fee discounts. If a customer buys multiple of the same item, the total price can really skyrocket. This can make an order prohibitively expensive since each item has some or all of the shipping costs included in its price. This will reduce the chance of large volume orders. Since the product is technically more expensive than its non-free shipping counterpart, returns might be more likely. If an item is returned, you will not only eat the actual product cost, but also the original shipping cost which was baked into the total product price. You will not be able to take shipping cost differences by zones into account. You will either have to pad the product price for the minimum, maximum, or an average zone cost. For example, if you only pad your product price for your local zone, you might get an order for the zone farthest from you, which could significantly increase your cost. This added cost would then have to come out of your profit margin, and if you're working with slim margins, you could end up with a situation where you're making very little to no money on some orders. We've been asked on occasion if we prefer free shipping over charging for it, and our answer is always, it depends. In our previous business, everything we sold shipped free. In our current business, we charge actual shipping costs. The main difference was the types of products we sold. Our units per order ratio was a lot lower in our previous business, making it more conducive to offering free shipping. The current products we sell are more likely to have a higher unit per order ratio, so charging for shipping offers the best value to our customers. If you are just starting out or do not have a lot of orders per day, then the U.S. Postal Service is going to be your best mailing option for your small and light products.
Now, who's ever wondered how the post office works? No one?
USPS offers a lot of shipping options, but the one you want to focus on is their first-class package service. You hear first class and you're probably thinking about an envelope with a stamp. This shipping option is not that. This is a package that can be shipped with a weight under 1 pound and includes tracking. This method can not only be used anywhere in the continental United States, but also covers Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands. You can also ship to P.O. boxes, which are going to be pretty popular in rural areas. Costs for the first-class package service are broken down by weight bands, in ounces, and by zones. Keep in mind that the costs shown are current as of the time we made this video and will change every year, and also possibly temporarily during the holiday season. The weight and the cost you see in the first column are the most important aspect of this table. You can see that the cost doesn't change until you get to the 5, 9, and 13 ounces. These are the thresholds you're trying to come in under with your overall package weights. Whether or not zone pricing will impact you will depend on how you structure your shipping charges for your customers. If you set your shipping costs manually or offer free shipping to your customers, then you'll need to figure out how you'll handle the possibility of not building enough padding into your total price. If shipping charges are automatically calculated for your customer based on their location, then zone pricing won't impact you as cost differences will automatically be taken into account. If you have a higher volume business, there is what we might call an elevated version of this first-class package shipping method to consider. A number of third-party shippers offer a consolidator service that sort of piggybacks onto USPS. For example, a company like DHL offers this service where they will pick up your shipments daily and bring them to their local distribution facility. They will then sort your shipments and then move them across the country to a USPS facility close to their final destination. At this point, they are handed off to USPS for the actual delivery. In our experience, this method can save you significantly on shipping costs, but also add slight delays to your shipping times. You really need to do a cost-benefit analysis to see if this would be a good option for your business. If the products you're shipping aren't too breakable, then you shouldn't even think about shipping them in a box. Instead, a bubble mailer, or even better, a poly mailer, should be used. If you can avoid a box, you'll not only significantly reduce your shipping weight, but you'll also be keeping your per unit product cost down, as poly and bubble mailers are going to be much cheaper than boxes. If your item is very breakable, requiring a box to ship, two great options to keep the weight and cost down are boxes in the 4x4x4 and 6x4x4 sizes. These are common sizes, which makes them readily available from a lot of sources. Remember, the goal here is to get the weight down as low as possible. The lower the weight, the cheaper your shipping costs will be, which can give you more flexibility depending on how you decide to pass this cost on to your customers.
Dad, what if I told you you could lose weight without dieting or lifting a finger?
I'd say you're a lying scumbag.
To accurately measure your package weights, you'll need a postal scale that not only shows pounds and ounces, but shows ounce values out to at least 1 decimal place. We'll provide links to some good options in the description below. At this point, you've got your order packaged up for shipping, you know its weight, and the shipping method you want to use. But where do you actually get that shipping label? You could take it to the post office, but I'm going to assume that you want to avoid standing in lines to ship your orders. If you do have to go to the post office, it should be to only drop off all your completed orders that already have a paid shipping label on them. Given that, you're going to need to purchase postage from somewhere online. You really have 3 choices. You can either purchase your postage directly from the shipping service itself, like USPS.com, within the marketplace where your product is sold, like on Etsy, eBay, or Amazon, or purchase it from a third-party postage and shipping service like a Stamps.com. I'm going to list some pros and cons of each of these options. Buying postage direct from a carrier, and really all these options, will probably offer some type of discounts compared to buying postage in person at full retail price. Something you might not think about is how you pay for postage. Buying direct allows you to use a credit card, so if you have one that gives you cash back, that's an additional discount you're getting on postage. We've seen this before on USPS.com, where you can only purchase some, but not all, of their shipping services. You might be unable or limited in your ability to batch print shipping labels, meaning you have to print postage one order at a time instead of all orders at once. If you offer different carrier options to your customers like USPS and UPS, you'll have to use multiple sites or apps. Not the greatest option in terms of workflow. The direct option most likely won't support consolidator integration. Again, most marketplaces are probably offering some level of postage discounts compared to buying postage at full retail over-the-counter prices. Shipping your orders from within the marketplace they sold makes it easy to manage everything in one place. If you sell across different marketplaces, this wouldn't allow for the most efficient workflow. You'd be jumping around between each marketplace to fulfill orders. The marketplace might not give you full control or options over how to ship the order. Depending on the marketplace, you might not be able to batch print your shipping labels. The marketplace probably won't support consolidator integration. You might have to fund the postage purchase from order revenue. This way the marketplace doesn't pay any credit card fees and you don't get any cash back if you have that kind of credit card. Bummer. Like the other options, you will most certainly get discounts on postage with a third-party shipping service. Probably the best reason to use a third party is that you can get all your orders from different marketplaces shipped in one place. This is huge from a workflow perspective, especially if you're doing any kind of volume. Using a service like this will let you select from not only multiple shipping options for an order, but you will also be able to select between different carriers. This gives you a lot of flexibility. A third-party service will almost certainly allow for batch printing of shipping labels, which can be important for high-order volume businesses. A third-party service is where you'll find support for consolidator integration, which is an option that might be important for businesses with a lot of orders. You can fund your postage purchases with a credit card that offers cash back to get additional discounts. If you haven't gotten a card for your business that offers some kind of purchase rewards, then you are seriously missing out.
Duh.
The fact that a third party has to integrate not only with the different shipping carriers, but also the different marketplaces, creates the risk of integration issues. If one shipping carrier or marketplace changes just something overnight, it might cause an interruption in those shipments until it's fixed. There will most certainly be some kind of monthly subscription cost, which will probably increase as your monthly order volume increases. If you're only selling on one marketplace, we'd probably say to just stick with shipping using their built-in system. We've always sold on multiple marketplaces, so I've always used a third-party service. The main advantage for us is that it just really streamlined our workflow. Having all our orders from all the marketplaces allows us to get data for our daily production, which saves us a ton of time. We've also used a consolidator in the past, and using a third-party solution was the best way to integrate with them. If you can justify the monthly fees associated with a third-party postage provider, then I think this is the route you'd want to take if you plan on growing your business. It will be a lot easier to grow your business with one than trying to add them later. Now that you have your order ready to ship and have a place to purchase your postage, it's time to actually print your shipping label. Now, you can always print your shipping labels on any old inkjet or laser printer. This is an okay option if you're selling very little online or just starting out, but if you're doing any kind of volume or expecting to, you need to invest in a good label printer. There are two primary types of label printers you might consider: direct thermal printers and thermal transfer printers. They both sound similar and are, but there is one very important distinction between them. Thermal transfer printers use a ribbon and direct thermal printers don't. I could go into more specifics about them and why you would want to use one over the other, but for our purpose here, you really want a direct thermal printer. Direct thermal uses only heat to create the label image, so you won't have any consumable costs that you get with other types of printers. We'll include links to a few popular direct thermal printers in the description below. Printer speed is something else to consider. If you're shipping one order at a time, then speed might not matter that much to you, but if you're batch printing all your shipping labels, then you'll want to look at some higher-end label printers. Depending on the style of printer you get, it will either be set up to print on rolled labels, fan-folded stacks of labels, or even both. Our preference is to always get a printer that can use fan-folded labels. Fan-folded labels can be cheaper than rolls and stay flat when printed. And trust me, flat labels are a lot easier to work with than curled labels. Fan-folded labels take up a little more desk space as they have to sit behind the printer, but there can be a lot more labels in a continuous run compared to rolls. This is a real benefit if you are batching up and printing all your orders at once, so you don't have to constantly be changing out rolls. Also, some rolls have that last label taped to the core. This can be really bad for your printer when you get to the end of the roll.
We hope you found this information helpful. If you can make even one small improvement to your shipping process, it can have a monumental impact on your business when you start looking at the impact over weeks, months, and the next year. Just for a little background, when Dave and I started working together in our first business, our shipping process was extremely slow, but we didn't start looking at making improvements until we got busier and needed to find more time in the day. The process improvements were slowly implemented over many years, but we typically looked for better or cheaper ways to ship only when we got so busy that we couldn't ship as many orders as we needed to in a given day. Some improvements were more impactful than others, but every time we made those changes, we always wished we had done so way sooner. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think and if there's anything you're looking at doing differently with your shipping method. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to get notified of future projects. We have more videos coming soon. Stay tuned.